If FBI Director Chris Wray held a press conference tomorrow without your knowledge to announce a charging decision in a major federal investigation, would you consider that an inappropriate departure from longstanding Department of Justice and FBI policy?
Under the situation today, under the letter that Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein wrote with regard to Mr. Comey, I think it would be a terminatable offense. That's not discipline. We need to be disciplined in this department. We don't need to be leaking, and we don't need to have people taking actions outside their realm. Maybe sometimes people make an honest mistake, but that would be a very dramatic thing, which he would never do.
So I'll take that as an emphatic yes. Now, to your knowledge, are there currently federal prosecutors in your office that are predetermining cases prior to the interviewing of key witnesses to include the subjects or targets of those investigations?
I don't believe so.
Is it a practice in your Department of Justice to allow immunized witnesses to sit in the interviews of the subject or target of federal investigations?
That would not be a normal process, for sure.
Mr. Attorney General, these are just a few of the irregularities or anomalies that have taken place in how the Department of Justice and the FBI have handled these investigations and prosecutions prior to 2016, and now apparently a departure from how you're handling them. It's also these irregularities that have shaken the faith and trust of people in our Department of Justice. Look, I'm of the opinion that for the last 8 years, we have survived the worst presidency of my lifetime. My colleagues on the other side of the aisle have spent their time today trying to convince you that we have to survive a bad president right now. That's okay. For 240 years, our republic has withstood that. Elected officials come and go. But right now, where we are, and what our history won't tell us, is what happens to our republic if people lose all faith and trust in the Department of Justice and the FBI to fairly investigate and to prosecute violations of the rule of law. Now, at one point in time, you and I held the same position in the Department of Justice. I was U.S. Attorney, as were you. You've obviously been promoted. If public opinion polls tell us anything, the chair that I hold right now signals that I've been demoted. But my time as U.S. Attorney taught me something that you said in your opening, which is that the Department of Justice must always transcend politics to uphold the rule of law. I think more than anything else, what the American people want to hear from you today is that that is in fact the case. As Mr. Gowdy said in his line of questioning, Lady Justice is supposed to be holding a set of scales, wearing a blindfold. She's not supposed to have her finger on the scales. And I think that the American people have every reason to question whether or not that's where we are right now. So more than anything else, what I'm asking from you is to hear from you that you are prepared, that you are committed to go wherever the facts and evidence lead you, regardless of the political consequences for any political party or any person, to include Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton or yourself.
Yes, I am, and the Department of Justice is. You will soon have Director Wray, I believe, coming before your committee. I hope you'll ask him these questions, and I think you'll be impressed with his commitment in that regard. As United States attorneys, it was we were raised in that idea. I've never forgotten. I'm glad I had my 15 years in the Department of Justice before I came to Congress. You get your values shaped maybe at a younger age, but I think I understand the role I have, the responsibility we have to do justice. And I would say this, that in the long run, if I want the respect of this body, both sides of the aisle, I've got to follow the rules in the department. And it may frustrate you that I can't answer questions or confirm you or other members on this side. It may frustrate people on this side. But if I'm not prepared to do that, then I don't think I'll ever restore the Department of Justice. And that's what our goal would be, to hopefully it's not as bad as you say, but I think there's danger out there, and we want to fix it.
Mr. Attorney General, thank you for your continued service. I yield back.